Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy mermaid pendant. Now this can also be a King Neptune's pendant, but it's based on the sea, so we call it mermaid or Neptune pendants because of the seashells. And what I do is I start off with seashells that have a hole in them. And I just collected these over the years from the beach. And any shell that had a hole in it, I collected. And actually, I have collected thousands of these shells. And so what I've done is I've put them in a little bath of Rit dye, or you can also use, just leave the shells plain, that's up to you. But I happen to have these already done in the art classroom, so that's why I just use the Rit dye. And then what you're going to do is, so you start off with the shell with the hole. If you want to opt for dyeing the shell, you can. Otherwise, you don't have to. Then what you do is you decorate the outside of the shell. You can even decorate the inside if you choose to, but using just the materials that I've provided, my students came up with their own designs and concoctions. And what I supplied them with was different color glass beads. I gave them round beads, and I also gave them these flat pieces of glass. They're flat on the back and then a little rounded at the top, so they had a choice of that. I gave them two different choices of if they chose to use this. This is just rhinestones on a ribbon, and I cut them to be very thin. They came, I think it was like 6 or 8 rhinestones wide, and I purchased this rhinestone ribbon at, I think it was Hobby Lobby, and it was like $10 for a huge roll, and I only used a few feet of it actually, because it makes a lot. And I cut them in about a 2-inch strips, so this was an option to use for decorating, how we design them. I'll show you how I used 2 of them here. I did a row at the bottom, and then I did a row in the middle, and this is a Neptune pendant here. It's more masculine in design, and the color I did was a dyed turquoise. But anything you want, however you want to color these shells is up to you. When you're coloring the shells, though, the markers that you want to use to apply this permanent color to are any type of a permanent marker. And this is the colors I gave my kids. We just used Sharpie markers. These are the permanent Sharpie markers. And this way, the dye will not rub off on your shirts. I would not recommend using any type of a water-based marker because the markers will not dry, and they'll just smear and smudge with the kids as they're making their pictures. So you do want to be careful even using Sharpie as you do your designs. Once the kids have their shells, what I do is I have them design a pattern if they want to. They can decorate the front, and they can even decorate inside the shell if they choose to. You can even put a little secret message on the inside, or make a little treasure map on the inside. If this is Neptune's pendant, to show where the treasure is buried or hidden under the sea. So use your imagination and come up with some cool, fun ideas for these necklaces or pendants. This one I chose to leave blank. I just wanted the beautiful natural patterns of the shell to come through. And this one was dipped in turquoise Rit dye first. And then what I did was I did the hot gluing of the pendant, of the actual jewel in the center. So what you would do is place a little bit of hot glue, and I'd say that's the size of about a pea. You want a little mini puddle because it needs to adhere to be deep enough so that the shell or the glass can stick to it. And then what I do, if you want to, like I said, if you want to decorate with your markers, your Sharpies, you can add some fun patterns to this, draw pictures, whatever you want. I'll just put one line of stripes so you're not watching me decorate forever. If you let it dry for a few minutes, if I touch it and rub it like this, it's a little bit smeary, but not too much. Actually, the Sharpie does a pretty good job of drying quick. So decorate it if you want decorations on the inside. You also have an option of putting, if you look here, there's a little bit of sparkle. So I give my kids options if they want to put some glitter in here. and you just run your glue where you want your glitter to be. This gives a little bit of that crystal water sparkle. And I'm using opalescent clear glitter. I love this color glitter. It gives a really neat sparkle to it. It picks up all the sparkle and light in the air. And I go ahead and just dip it into my glitter bucket. And then what I do is I have the kids attach the string. And I'm going to show you how I put the string on. First of all, you want to divide your string in half equally. And this is just plastic lacing. So find the two ends and then find your middle. Fold it in the center. And then the center part is, I kind of pinch it. And that's going to go through the hole. I had my whole family when we were looking for shells. We all went to the beach and looked for shells one year. Once you make the little hole, then you're taking the ends and it just goes right in the hole. String it through the hole together and then take your end and pull tight. And that's going to make a little loop knot right around the pendant. Pull tight, and that way the pendant's going to lay flat like this. Or if you want it this way, it's going to lay flat, but it's not going to be strung crooked. So I like those loop knots. And then bring it to the ends, keep your ends together, and you're going to make a knot around your finger. Like you're going to tie just a single knot around. I wrap it around my finger, and then I'm going to take, so the two ends are on top of the string, and they form a loop. Look, it almost makes a number 6. See that? Shh. Then I'm bringing it under the number 6. There's your number 6. Bring it under the two strings together, under the number 6, right in the hole, and come out the hole. So I brought it under the 6, I strung it through the hole, and it came out the hole, and now I'm taking the two ends and pulling tight. And at this time you can move the knot even. As you're holding the ends, I can push it up and then pull tight. And again, this is plastic lacing. I got this at Hobby Lobby, but you can buy plastic lacing anywhere. And there you have it strung. Now, if you decide to use this, what I have the kids do is tell me where they want this, and I've cut this, like I said, into 2-inch strips, and they tell me if they want it on the edge or where they want it, and then I put the hot glue, because in my classrooms I don't let students use hot glue. So to run the hot glue, you go ahead and run a tiny bead of hot glue. You can even use low temp hot glue for this. That works well too. I let my 5th graders use low temp hot glue, but my younger kids, I don't let them use the hot glue. And there you go, and you have your pendant. I found that hot glue works better than if you put, Elmer's glue doesn't glue this that well. It just takes too long for it to dry, and I like the kids to take this home the very day. There you go, and there you've got your cool design. When I made this one, I opted for leaving this blank, though I wanted it just this to be the beauty of the necklace. But that's up to you how you want to design it, and have fun making your own imaginary mermaid pendant.